Hi everyone, my name's Yvonne and today I am going to show you how to paint these flowers. They've got a sort of little tropical edge to them, or they could be wild flowers growing in Britain. Up to you, you choose. So in order to do this I have a piece of watercolour paper. It's not a terribly expensive one, it's one of those practice ones, so you can practice as much as you like. The other thing is I have two oblique watercolour paint brushes. One is about 8mm and one is a size 10, which doesn't say how big it is, but it's probably at least a centimetre. And you need these because you're going to wet the main part of the brush with the base colour and add a tiny bit of extra colour to the corner. And then I've got a really thin little cheap brush to do the stems and the stamens. So off we go. Now, to paint this, I have my paints. These are Semi Arts paints, so they're nothing terribly expensive, really good to practice. And in here I have what they call lemon yellow, but is more like cadmium yellow. And I'm also going to use a little bit of red from this box as well. Now, because you need the paint, the yellow paint, to be quite quite a lot on the brush, you start off with a really good puddle of yellow paint, to which you add a tiny bit of red or orange to the corner. So this is dry, so I'm just going to wet it up a little bit. Now your brush needs to be fairly smooth. There is a use for the brush when it's a bit spread out like that, because it gives you nice striations on your petals, but that's not what we're particularly looking for now. So just there we are, that's nice and puddle there. And then make sure that your colour that you're going to add is wet before you start, because if you don't, it'll be hard to get the extra colour on the brush afterwards. Okay. Right, now then I generally start by putting some dots where I want my flowers to be. So if we look at this one, you can see there's one up there, there's one there, and there's one just further down there. Alright, so you want tiny little dots, nothing huge. So we're going to use the small brush to paint the smaller flowers and the big brush to paint this larger one at the top. A really useful piece of kit when you're watercolouring is a kitchen roll, because it helps you control the amount of paint that there is on the brush. So if I just do that, I can see there's a little bit of pooling there. That's too much paint on the brush, so we'll get rid of some of it. And that's what we want. We want a nice clear brush. Then I've put the teeniest little, weeniest little bit, and you can see how much that affects the colour straight away. So you may think that's too much, and then you may want to use orange instead, but that's your choice. Right, okay, let's go in a bit closer. And we're going to start where that little dot is there. And to do a lazy S, you put the brush down like that, you move it ever so slightly, and you lift. Turn. And do the same on the next one. There we are. And there we've got our first flower. So we're now going to do exactly the same, making sure the brush is clean. Pick up some yellow, pick up a teeny little bit of red, check your colour. And where the other dot is, you can just see it, you don't want it too much. And then we do the third one over here. Now I haven't bothered to add any extra colour to this, there's plenty of paint on there. These brushes do, even though they're quite cheap brushes as well, they do hold a fair bit of colour. Okay, so that's all we need. They're done. That's how quick that is. Now let's get our green. And again, with my beautiful green plate. I do find if you have some cheap plates and you keep sort of a colour theme going on the plate, then it's far easier. So that one's greens, this one's yellows, I've got one red, I've got one pink. Right, okay, so with this very, very thin little brush, just come down, and don't worry whether it's straight or not. It really doesn't matter. There we are, and that's all you need, three of those. Then go back into where we started up here and give yourself a dot in the centre and do the same there and do the same there. Okay, then load your brush again, and because this is so thin it's not going to be holding too much, and we want some think hibiscus. And try not to do them all going in the same direction. It's a bit boring if you do. And we'll do another 3 from there. And then just to finish it off, okay, so you've done those, and now you want to have some leaves. I think I'll just finish that one there. You want to have some leaves. So I'm going to clean off my thinner brush, get rid of the yellow, then go back to the green that I used originally, adding a little bit of extra green to it because it's a bit on the thin side. Again, check your colour. It's fine, but too much paint on there, so get rid of a little bit of paint. Right, now then these are the leaves, and the leaves basically are very similar to the original flower. Not thick enough. Can go over it. And if you want it to go the other way, think about it this way. Oops. That way. That way. And basically, there's your flower painting. And how quick and easy and simple was that?